Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I don't really talk about audiobooks too much unless I'm doing a review or they're featuring as part of my MBR or wrap-up videos. So I thought today I'd take a little bit of time to have a look at some of the titles on my audio TBR. So over the last 12 months or so, I would say audiobooks have started to play quite an important part in my reading kind of schedule. I can do a lot of audiobook listening whilst I'm working with some of the elements of my job, so it does give me another avenue down which I can enjoy my books. A number of the books that I've put into my reading plans for 2023 will be done on audio. I'm not decided on all of them. Some of them I do have physical or ebook copies, so it'll largely come down to what else am I reading around the same time and how I'm feeling when I come to pick up one of these books. But today I thought I'd go through some of the titles that I'm specifically looking at doing on audio. Now there are some of these titles that I was going to include, like Pale Kings, Oathbringer, Sins of the Mother, but these are all series that I'm already part way through, so I'm going to exclude those. And I think that leaves me with 7 series or 7 titles which are the first book in a series that I'm looking forward to doing the audio for in the coming months. So we're going to start off with one that I've been looking forward to for a long time. I've had plenty of recommendations for this one, including specifically about doing it on audio. This one is Wolf Eater by Anthony Mitchell, and I've got the synopses off the back of the books, or off Audible as it happens, on my Kindle here in front of me. So I'm going to read through these for each of the titles I discussed to give a bit of an idea, both for me and also for you, about what the book's about. So for Wolf Eater, it says, found as a child by the war-hungry tribe of the Grey Crow, Radok has forged himself a legend as a mighty wolf eater, a warrior feared by all. Yet even legends can die, and when he finds himself afflicted with a fatal disease, Radok sets out on a quest to face his gods and ask them the one question only gods can answer. What was the meaning of it all? With him goes Nyana, a blind 8-year-old girl long held in his care, who has her own question for the gods. What's next? They are hunted by friends and enemies alike, some desperate to preserve the natural balance of things, others hungry for revenge. Against them are set a pack of savage cannibals, a bloodthirsty monster, and the servant of a raging god. But if the pair can do the impossible, if they can touch the black stone, it could change the destiny of their people, and with it, the fate of the world. So as I say, this has long been recommended to me. It's one that I do have a physical copy of. I think I may also have a digital copy on my Kindle, so I've got it across all 3 formats, and I'm going to be reading this one as one of my 2023 self-published reading goals, and also it's scheduled at some point to be a buddy read with my book bestie Nina, so it's definitely one that I'm finally going to tick off this year. And actually, before I move on to the next one, it would be remiss of me to talk about these audiobooks without mentioning the narrators. So Wolf Eater is narrated by Harry Frost. I've not listened to my knowledge to anything by Harry Frost, and I don't think so far I've sampled the audio for Wolf Eater, so hopefully we'll get along well, but I'll find out before too long. So the next one up is another self-published book that I've heard quite a bit about, and it sounds like it's something that's right up my street. I do also have a physical copy of this one that was kindly gifted to me as I think it was a Secret Santa present. So I do again have both formats of this one, but I'm specifically going to look at this one on audio because I was gifted a review copy by the narrator Spencer Dillahay, and this one is Blood of Crows by Alex C. Pierce. Ren is a thief and a con man. You want something stolen, big or small, he'll get it. No matter how well it's protected, all while being the only person in the city without any magical knack. There's just one rule: he doesn't kill people. Murder is rare in the walled city of Lenmar, thanks to the magic-eating inquisitors that can sniff out and track any individual by their particular knack. So when a serial killer starts killing the nobility, leaving no trace for the inquisitors to follow, Ren becomes the prime and only suspect. All Ren wants to do is stop a serial killer, clear his name, and protect the people he cares about. To do that, he'll have to pull off one more high-stakes heist and steal the proof he needs from the very people who want to catch him. So again, this is one that I've heard some pretty good things about. I do like a nice fantasy heist, so I'm hoping to enjoy this one. The next one is another one that I've been gifted a review copy of, this time by the author who is also the narrator. This is Deathless Beast by Andrew D. Meredith, and this is the Collation Saga Volume 1 rather than Book 1. This is kind of an omnibus, I suppose, edition, because these books were originally, but still recently, released as I think it was 3 individual volumes, but they're now bound up together under the title Deathless Beast. Fates intertwine, pantheon calls, darkness grows. Far too many blame their own bad luck on Hannon and Relia Clue. When opportunity knocks, they leap to put their past behind them. In the turmoil of a holy order fraught with lies, frustration and heresy, the paladin Gined Bradstein is called to a deeper faith. When Catium takes up a seemingly ageless seed pod from a botanist's desk, she cannot guess at the change it will bring. While life stirs within that seed, while the path to a deeper faith beckons, while there is coin to be made upon the road, darkness moves a winged, deathless wrath, invisible to the gods. All would-be heroes must give their lives, or be made illustration, for those who've still to come and try to fall or rise above their station. So that synopsis was a bit of a struggle for me. That's actually the first time that I've read it. I've got a copy, as I say, gifted to me. I'm going to be listening to this one on Spotify because you can now get a good range of audiobooks through there, and that's the medium that the author has given me a review code for. But I actually don't really know anything about this series. I've heard, again, some good reviews for it. I'm quite interested to try out the author's works because this will be my first experience of anything he's written, so I'll find out soon what it's all about. Another first for me is the work of N.C. Scrimger, and I'm going to be listening to a copy of the Waystations Trilogy Book 1, which is Those Left Behind. This is a sci-fi, and it's one that I won on a Twitter giveaway that the author did. If you do want to find out more about this from the author's own words, she is actually going to be featuring in my next Indie Author Showcase on the 20th of February, so keep an eye out for that one in the next few days. A dying planet, a desperate mission, a crew facing impossible odds. Humanity's last hope lies with them. Time is running out for the people of New Palace. Nobody knows that better than Alvera and Renata, a tenacious captain determined to scout past the stars with nothing but a hand-picked crew and a promise to find a new home for humanity. But when a perilous journey across dark space leads to a first contact with a galactic civilization on the brink of war, Alvera soon realises keeping her word might not be as easy as she thought. Her only hope lies with the secrets of the ancient alien way stations scattered across the galaxy. The mysterious technology could be the key to the humanity's survival, or bring unwanted attention from the long-forgotten beings who built them. But remaining united is a lot to ask from a crew already splintering under the weight of their differences. A jaded pilot looks for a place he can start over, a young translator searches for meaning out in the galaxy's lawless frontier, and Alvera reckons with the aftermath of betrayal as she fights for a way to save them all. As they break apart to forge their own paths, Alvera and her crew all face the same question. What are they willing to sacrifice to save those left behind? So this one is narrated by Jared Kedzier. I'm interested to see how this one goes because I have been enjoying my kind of space opera sci-fi recently, and fingers crossed this is going to be another tick in that box. Another sci-fi that I do have a physical copy of, but I'm probably going to listen to, and again this is a buddy read that Nina and I have been trying to get down to for a fair while. This is Shards of Earth by Adrian Tchaikovsky, book 1 in the Final Architecture, and it's narrated by Sophie Aldred. The war is over, its heroes forgotten, until one chance discovery. Idris has neither aged nor slept since they remade his mind in the war, and one of humanity's heroes now scrapes by on a freelance salvage vessel to avoid the attention of greater powers. 80 years ago, Earth was destroyed by an alien enemy, many escaped but millions more died. So mankind created enhanced humans such as Idris, who could communicate mind to mind with our aggressors. Then these architects simply disappeared, and Idris and his kind became obsolete. Now Idris and his crew have something strange abandoned in space. It's clearly the work of the architects, but are they really returning? And if so, why? Hunted by gangsters, cults and governments, Idris and his crew race across the galaxy as they search for answers. For they now possess something of incalculable value, and many would kill to obtain it. So I do like a bit of Adrian Tchaikovsky, and although his sci-fi has been a bit hit and miss with me, with Children of Time starting off great and then the following books in that series not really hitting the mark for me, I'm hopeful that this is going to be a space opera type series that I can enjoy from him. So next up, and we're going back to fantasy, and this is one that again I do have a physical copy of, but it's quite a chunky one, and that's going to take me a while to get through, so there's a good opportunity for me to get to it sooner by doing the audio. And this is Legacy of Ash, book 1 of the Legacy trilogy by Matthew Ward. It's narrated by Susanna Hampton, and the synopsis on Audible is really very short. It just says, a shadow has fallen over the Tressian Republic. Ruling families plot against one another with sharp words and sharper knives, heedless of the threat posed by invading armies of the Hadari Empire. The Republic faces its darkest hour, yet as Tressia falls, heroes rise. So that tells me pretty much nothing. That's really very generic. If you take out, 2 names in there of the 2 empires, kingdoms, whatever they are, there's not really a lot to be said about that one. But it is one that I've heard some good things about. I have also heard about there's a bit of a slump in the middle of it. It's a bit of a slog to get through a portion of it towards the middle of the book. And I'm hoping that if that is the case for me, audio will definitely help out with it. I'm going to see, actually, if I can get this one off the shelf. It doesn't really have much more on the back of the book. It just pretty much says the same thing. Fate turns, legacies burn, a phoenix shall blaze from the darkness. And then the rest of it is basically the same as the audio synopsis, but as I say, that is a big chunky boy of over 750 pages. And then the last of the ones that I've put on my audio TBR is again a buddy read that Nina and I are looking to schedule in some point early on in this year. And this is The Ties That Bind by Rob J. Hayes, starting off with The Heresy Within. And this is narrated by Jarrett Ross. For generations, the Inquisition has stood between humanity and the forces of darkness. It has failed. Thankwell Darkheart is a witch hunter for the Inquisition on a holy crusade to rid the world of heresy. He's also something else. Expendable. When the God Emperor gives Thankwell an impossible task, he knows he has no choice but to venture deep into the wilds to hunt down a fallen Inquisitor. Even the best swordswoman is one bad day away from a corpse. It's a lesson Bladesmaster Jezet Valerne isn't keen to learn. Chased into the wilds by a vengeful warlord, Jezet makes it to the free city of Jade. But instead of sanctuary, all she finds are more enemies from her past. The Black Fawn is a cheat, a thief, a murderer, and worse. He's best known for the killing of several Inquisitors, and every town in the wilds has a wanted poster with his name on it. Fawn knows it's often best to lie low and let the dust settle, but some jobs pay too well to pass up. As their fates converge, Jezet, Thankwell, and the Black Fawn will need to forge an uneasy alliance in order to face the truth the Inquisition has been hiding from them all. So this one, some of the Rob J. Hayes series really do appeal to me. This one is maybe towards the bottom of that list because it's maybe not my normal thing, but I'm willing to give it a go. And audio will definitely help with that because I find it's a lot more forgiving than reading a book where it's really down to you reading it, and if you're having a bit of a slow period on it, the book can really start to drag. So I don't find that with audio, and it's a great medium therefore for picking up a new author and a new series, especially if it's one that you're not too sure about, because it's good to get into that way. This one is available, I do have a copy of it, but it is also available to listen to for free on YouTube if you go to the Epic Fantasy Audiobooks channel, and I will leave a link to that in the description box below. Book 1 at the moment, split into 2 parts, is available, and Book 2 and Book 3 will be following in the coming weeks as well. So that's 7 audiobooks that I've specifically put on my TBR to be listening to this year. As I said, there are plenty more. I do listen to 2 or 3 audiobooks per month as a general rule, depending on the type of work that I'm doing and how busy that work is. So there are plenty of others that I will be covering, but these ones I'm specifically going to make an effort to cover on audio in 2023. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these or listened to them, and if there's any that you recommend that I should really get to first, or if there's any other great audiobooks that you think might work for me. I'm going to hopefully see you in the next video coming up sometime soon, but until then, as always, take care of yourselves, read some good books. Bye for now.